Hello, Paul Case here again. I'm in my mom's spare bedroom. I'm gonna look at these sale bills with you. The two old ones here, we determined we don't know what year they were. But what year did Frank Silva? What do you know how long he lived or when it was he lived between?
He died in the late 70s, and he was born in 1890 something.
Mm-hmm. We never did determine that they had wrote them on the year that these sales were on here. And he had some livestock. He had some of what they considered to be farm equipment. You see, he had a mower and a binder and a wagon, cows and hogs, one hay frame, butterfly cream separator, other things too numerous to mention. 4 dozen rose comb brown leghorn hens. And this is something kind of like what Jeff Raymond's or Ramo's sale bill had on it. All sums of $10 and under cash, sums of $10 and over credit of 8 months' time will be given to purchaser on approved note with interest paid when due, not paid when due, to draw 8 cents interest from date or 5%. I guess that was percent, not just cents. 5% discount for cash. And that was your grandpa, right?
They would have
Frank Sylvie, my mom's
would have
grandpa.
been in the 30s and 40s. The bigger one in the 40s when Dad went to war.
Okay.
They sold some stuff.
And your dad was in the Korean War?
No, World War II.
World War II.
In the 40s.
And this is the second one, much smaller. I'll try to get them in the same picture so you can tell that's a much smaller sale bill. And I don't know which one did you say came first? The big one?
Yeah. I think this one.
The November 21st one might have been first. We don't know for sure, but this was sale bill. Same guy, Frank Sylvie. Hey, the ladies of Orange Branch Church provided lunch for this. You reckon they'd still do that kind of thing?
Well, they ought to. They were when I was young. Doing that.
This one doesn't have, probably has more, definitely has more cattle than the other one. There's a breakdown of the cows, one mare, some farm equipment. Somebody's probably still using that sweep rake. A 1934 car, complete, would make a good wagon. And it had some household stuff there. And other items too numerous to mention. And you think that the reason they had the one sale was because your dad was going to the
Yes,
military?
and the other one was, I don't know, they fell upon hard times and they rented the house out and moved to Joplin and lived in an apartment for a little while, and they turned the house into a granary.
Yeah.
But this, since I had a 34 on it, car, I'd say this was the 1940s one.
That would have been old, though.
Yeah, that'd have been the younger one, and that'd been the older one.
Well, that was pretty interesting stuff. And I told you I'd show you that along with one that I had. You can see this is me at the bottom. This sale bill is not the only one I've got, but it was the easiest to find. And this was on the day before Easter Sunday. And I remember when it was. It was 2001. My youngest son was a week old when this happened. Well, a little more than a week, 9 days old. And before we go very far, you should see there are 3 items consigned by a neighbor. And you would know it, if you knew me, you'd know it was a John Deere tractor. Let's see if I can remember what the other ones were. The Gleaner A2 combine and the New Holland stack wagon was not mine. I guess I had more than that. Consigned by a neighbor because John Deere square baler that's on there wasn't mine. Well, we had a whole bunch of items. The reason that we had that sale, and several of those items were my dad's, was because they had stopped custom baling hay and we had a lot too much equipment. I was kind of always afraid if we didn't get rid of some of it that someone would want us to bale their hay still, and they did. They wanted Dad to bale their hay. But, oh, by the way, read that at the bottom. This represents what I thought these items might bring. There was a lot of those items we didn't sell, and I ran an ad on them in the paper later and sold them. And so that one was... These other 2 sale bills were at least 50 years previous to the one I had. Well, I thought you guys might think that was interesting, and you can feel free to go back and pause it and look at those. I want to show you some aerial view photos that Mom has here in the hallway. And this is the place I grew up on. We're actually right there in a bedroom in that house right now. And it still looks much like that. This is the shot of my dad's chicken farm. If you look real close, this was my chicken farm over here on the state line, and then this was Dad's. It was almost 2 miles away, and that house that we looked at in the picture would have been right here, or would be right here. It's in those trees. And we have a fair chunk of land there. It goes kind of from here all the way up to it misses 20 acres on the corner, and then between us we got 240 acres over here, and 100 acres here, and 110 here, and I still have 68 on that side of that section, so we have quite a little bit of land on that right there. And she's got a couple others that really have good light. This one, you're not going to be able to see it because the lighting's not very good in here. But, and this is, I'm pretty proud of this. My youngest son, Scott Case, made this when he was in the 5th grade, I believe, 6th grade, in art class at school. And Mom has a lot of old pictures of people in this room here. And some of them, I know who they are, but never knew them. And I think she does the same way. This is the same place. This is the home place I grew up on. Obviously the picture was taken in the fall when all the leaves were off and everything was frostbit. And quite a few things. This had to have been right after we built the addition onto this shed out here. And there's quite a few of those things that you see out there that are still around here. He still has the same flatbed trailer and stock trailer. That stock trailer is hooked onto a red dually pickup. He still has it and uses it. These 2 items are still sitting out there about in the same place, but he uses them off and on. His backhoe and fuel trailer and such. And then that's a picture, same picture, or a picture of the same house, but that's previous to when we built that addition. And you can actually see that part of the barn's missing right here. And there was a tornado come through here when I was about in the 5th grade that picked up the back end of that building and tore it off. And then the top one of those aerial view photos, and these were actually taken from an airplane. They didn't have drones and things then to take pictures with. This was my grandparents' place where my dad grew up at. And My wife and I bought that from my folks, and we lived there first 15 years we were married. And so that's an aerial view picture of it. And that was, I hadn't lived there very long because I wound up changing the fence and making a big yard where I had room to get in, and you can see the fence still has it fenced in, a small yard. So that may have even been when my grandmother was still alive. I don't know what year that was. The house has a green metal roof on it now, and there's a Quonset hut built back behind this is a chicken house, and there's a 40 by 60 Quonset hut building behind it now. But that was the place my granddad homesteaded. It's where I live at now, is on the same property. But I just thought you guys might find some of that interesting. Thanks for watching my videos. We will talk to you later.